Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, Norgay clarifies delay in salary of local government workers in Rivers State. Rivers Information Commissioner says local council elections will take place. DSS warns against crowded gathering over potential threats. On the foreign scene, Pakistan sentences student to death over WhatsApp messages. I am Kala Dakurubatbo. Good evening. The chairman of Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees, Norgay, in Rivers State, Paul Clifford, says it is not true that the state government is withholding the salaries of local government workers. Mr. Clifford, in a telephone interview with correspondent Soibio Ruwari, made this clarification while speaking on reports that Governor Siminalayi Fubara stopped February allocation meant for local government areas. He said the delay in the payment of workers' salary is a result of the harmonization of the minimum wage for the workers.
After the working, they will now fall into the treasurer for them to work on. That is what is holding our salary. But hopefully, by today, the salaries will be released. It's not withholding our salary. We want it to be uniform so that everybody will have their salaries. My advice to the workers is that they should start a little bit patient. I know that we have talked with the Auditor General for local government. He promised that as at yesterday, 11 o'clock, that the salaries will be released to the LGS.
Mr. Clifford also explained the delay in the payment of the February salary.
As a union, we now prepared with 30,000 minimum wage charts and formed up a committee made up of the treasurers and the accountants to work out the variable pay and the union dues as in the chart. Thereafter, the committee now submitted the chart to us, and we now sent it to the local government service commission, who now made a forwarding letter to all the LGAs to work with it. We want it to be uniform for all the LGAs.
In the meantime, the spokesperson of civil society organizations in the state, Solomon Lenu, encouraged local government workers, saying the state governor is protecting their interests.
So I don't think that any reasonable Rivers man or woman will join the bandwagon to criticize what the governor is doing. What he is doing is to ensure that the people of Rivers State, the civil servants of Rivers State at the local level, have a little respite from the harsh economic situation that we are faced with today. Imagine we are talking about the 30,000 minimum wage, and then you look at the economic situation of the country today, and I hope that the local government workers will understand that this thing that is happening is for their own good.
In other development, the Rivers State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, says the local government council elections will take place. This is as the tenure of the 23 local government chairmen in the state will come to an end in June. Speaking on Nigeria Info Morning Crossfire today, Mr. Johnson said Governor Fubara will do anything or will not do anything that is unconstitutional.
They still have up to June. This is just March. So I don't see any reason why we should be apprehensive. The elections will come. Plans are on, and I want to believe that as a statutory thing, the governor will not have any choice but to bow to the law.
Recall that in February, the 27 lawmakers led by Martin Amerule overruled Governor Siminalayi Fubara and passed a bill stripping him of the power to appoint caretaker chairman after the current terms expire. The 9th Obiakpor Legislative Assembly says it welcomes the resignation of his leader, Prince Acho Nna. The lawmakers in a communique issued at the end of an emergency meeting said Prince hastily tendered his resignation after learning of plans to impeach him for alleged financial misappropriation. The communique was read by the councillor representing Ward 1 in Obiakpor Legislative Assembly and Chairman House Committee on Information, Michael Azunwu.
It is on record that 16 out of 17 councillors have signed an impeachment motion to be moved on the floor of the House on Tuesday, 12th March 2024 against Mr. Acho Nna on the grounds of misappropriation of funds and gross misconduct, which was why he hastily resigned. That the 9th Legislative Council of Obiakpor Local Government Area is intact and we continue in our legislative duties for the betterment of Obiakpor Local Government Area.
Mr. Prince Achoina is yet to respond to the allegation. Our correspondent reports that the 16 councillors that signed the communique are Deputy Leader Jennifer Benson, Chief Whip Amadi Edison, Deputy Chief Whip and Victor Wokim. Others are Stanley Owunda, Abuchi Amadi, Loveth Mba, Prince Owunda, Solomon Ikunga, Rita Woke, Victor Aleruchi, China Nyekwere. Others are Justina Wagu, Patrick Omuma, Loveday Augustine and Charity Green. Moving on. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara is asking Rivers women to continue praying for the peace of the state. Governor Fubara said this in his congratulatory message as the world marks Women's Day. Governor Fubara urged the women to continue to play their motherly role to save the society from moral decay and rot. The governor reiterated his commitment to giving priority attention to women empowerment in line with the theme of this year's celebration, which is Inspire Inclusion. In the same vein, the PDP in Rivers State has felicitated with Rivers women and all women across the world on the occasion of this year's International Women's Day celebration. The party, in a statement by its publicity secretary Sidney Barra, said women deserve to be honored because of their immense contributions to the development of the home and society at large. The statement also thanked Rivers women for their show of love and exceptional support for Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration, saying the party and the state government have not taken their support for granted. The party also assured the women that the PDP-led government will continue to invest in women to enhance their capacity. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. Still to come, DSS warns against crowded gathering over potential threat. Do stay tuned as we go for a commercial break.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. Irewole Busayo and Emerald Ansem have emerged as finalists of the I Beg to Differ debate tournament on 92.3 Nigeria Info FM in Port Harcourt. This comes after Irewole Busayo defeated Oke Orji Delight at the semi-final stage as they debated the topic: public universities should be tuition-free in Nigeria.
Free education is to the universal basic education level, that is to JS3. So from SS1, it is required that they should pay their tuition fees. We realize that university education is an advancement of their education, is an advancement of their learning. So they should be allowed to pay their tuition fees. And tuition fees will also enable the university to grow and promote infrastructure.
My opponent also said that it will make the students have a sense of entitlement and they will see it as a right, not as a privilege. But is it wrong for these students to expect the government to provide free tuition for its citizens? Is it wrong for them to be wanted to be cared for by the government of their own country? So yes, they can see it as their right because it is their fundamental human right.
And some Emerald also defeated Ebibo Kefie Megan as they debated the topic: poverty is not a solvable problem in Nigeria.
Indolence. For years, Nigeria have been known with the phrase "it go better" instead of working towards making it better. Well, remember, faith without work is dead. How can we solve problems of poverty when we have refused to get in positive political activism?
There are countries like China even that have plenty population, yet they managed to lift themselves out of poverty. There are countries like Germany that thought they were going to go down, but they managed to lift themselves out of poverty. If so many other countries can do it, why can't we? We cannot give up as Nigerians. We have to be patriotic, but we cannot just give up because we have nowhere else to go. We are Nigerians and will always remain Nigerians.
I beg to differ promotes educational development by encouraging discussions on socio-economic issues in Nigeria. The debate, which airs at 11 a.m. daily, will now see Busaya and Emerald competing for the 1 million naira prize. The winner will represent Port Harcourt at the Lagos finals. The debate is sponsored by Wigwe University. Away from that, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called on state governors and lawmakers to prescribe capital punishment for kidnapping. Senator Tinubu made the call during a meeting with APC national women leaders in Abuja. She described the kidnappers as cowards for taking hold of women and children, saying they were inhumane and should be treated as such. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has condemned the abduction of some internally displaced persons in Borno State and students in Kaduna State. President Tinubu in a statement directed security and intelligence agencies to immediately rescue the victims and ensure that justice is served against the perpetrators. In the meantime, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says Nigerian children deserve to learn in a peaceful environment. It comes after bandits kidnapped over 200 students from both a secondary and primary school in Chukon local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday. In a statement today, UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Christian Mundwate, said schools are supposed to be sanctuaries of learning and growth, not to be places of fear and violence. The Department of State Services (DSS) has warned Nigerians to avoid crowded gatherings to avoid potential threats. DSS spokesman Peter Afunaya gave the warning as Muslim faithful began Ramadan and the Christians for the Lent period. Mr. Afunaya urged Nigerians to be vigilant against public dangers, especially improvised explosive devices.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
A court in Pakistan has sentenced a 22-year-old student to death on charges of blasphemy over WhatsApp messages. The court in Punjab province said he shared blasphemous pictures and videos with the intention to outrage the religious feelings of Muslims. A 17-year-old was also sentenced to life imprisonment as part of the same case. Both have denied wrongdoing. On the news this evening, you heard Norgay has clarified the delay in the payment of salary for local government workers in Rivers State. Rivers State Commissioner for Information Joe Johnson says local council elections will take place. The DSS has warned against crowded gathering during Lent and start of Ramadan. On the foreign scene, Pakistan has sentenced a student to death over WhatsApp messages. The news was edited by Martha Okeringham. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Kaladako Rubatubo.